Before you watch this video, I'm going to assume that you read my title and understand that I'm talking about HYBE and not the actual girls. This is your only disclaimer. Feel free to view ahead. HYBE has debuted a total 10 groups over the span of 8 years, and that's not include the new group Saint Satine that's coming. Le Seraphim, which is one of their oldest group, is barely 4 years old. That's not a company that's a walking working idol makeover box that pumps out new faces every Tuesday. But it's also they're all like, oh, you all really like this music, you can listen to the same by a HYBE group or a new group that's also under HYBE. And don't worry, the stock prices are also growing. HYBE has so many groups at this point that it's always HYBE group versus HYBE group, not HYBE versus K-pop. It's Cat's Eye versus Saint Satine fans, TXT versus ENHYPEN fans, etc. It's to the point that groups in the same company are being accused of copying each other because when you have so many groups, there's only so many trendy concepts that you can capitalize on. So you better love your idols that do that concept the most unless you want another Fromas. Another thing about HYBE groups is how they don't have a cohesive identity. They will have a concept and completely abandon it for what's trendy or have the vaguest concept ever that could apply to anything. Like Illic concept, which is one of the more consistent ones up till now, is just albeit that's so vague that could mean anything. And Cat's Eye and Le Seraphim have completely abandoned their concepts. I don't know how else to say this, but it's interesting how literally almost every idol that leaves HYBE groups is suddenly the selfish greedy monster. Heesung suddenly didn't care enough that he only had 1 year left on his contract and just left to make solo music, and they allowed him to do that just like that. Manon is suddenly lazy and doesn't want to work. I know she had issues in the Dream Academy and I have my opinions on them. And is actually greedy for not wanting Cat's Eye's insane schedule. Danielle is actually a manipulative bitch who lied to everyone else in New Jeans and just wants her own career. The biggest issue here is what happens when your reign ends. When the K-pop machine gets too sick of you, when they decide to spit you out. When they decide either you reinvent or you can be a crumb of your former glory. What happens when you become the HYBE? Because someone has to clean up the mess that will left behind. Whether it's the embarrassing songs, the too soon for some idols choreography, the shitty vocals. When your legacy is just they rage bait us and are soulless and corporate. I mean, even HYBE thought their reign would last forever. Because the shareholders don't have to clean that mess up. It's almost brilliant on HYBE's end because you can exploit and make a group so hated and the fans so exhausted, the idols so divisive, and by the time they have decided to move on from your rage bait, you already have another group ready to repeat the cycle. By the time you are exhausted by Cat's Eye's drama, they already have Saint Satine drama ready to lure you in. I can't be a coincidence how many HYBE groups' fandoms are so overprotective as fuck. The idols become cycles. The fans become invested and you get richer. Good fucking strategy.